before we move into high school or whatever,
Okay.
everybody know you as FuFu.
FuFu.
So where that nickname come from?
Oh, that comes from my mother. My mother was a preschool teacher at the time, and she was pregnant with me. I remember she had me, and I was a big baby. I was 10 pounds and 10 ounces. My mom was a diabetic, so I was a big baby. So when I came out, I had these big, like I still have them, and it's kind of crazy. It's so hereditary because my kids have them, and I just had a granddaughter that's 4 months, and she looks just like that with these big old jaws. And you know, the first thing they said, oh, he looks like the little bunny FuFu. Which, you know, back then it was a known song, Little Bunny FuFu hopping through the forest.
Okay.
So my mother proceeded to start calling me my little FuFu, and voila, it stuck with me. Yep, so that's how I got the name FuFu. And it's not spelled FOO, it's spelled FUFU.
Yeah, that's one I didn't know. I didn't know that.
Yep.
Okay, so you moved on to high school,
Correct.
Hamilton High, obviously playing sports. What, if anything, were you excited about going to high school?
Yeah, I think more or less when I was thinking about high school anyway, high school was more of an experience because I looked at it like once you get through high school, you got to start looking to the next chapter of your life, which was college, and I definitely was going to go to college. So I was excited to go to high school. I didn't know at the time. I didn't know what to expect in high school. You know, you had a lot of dudes that was older than you. You didn't know you didn't really know what to expect. But once I got in there and learned a little bit of things, it was fun. It was fun. It was definitely an experience playing sports. It was definitely an experience to see who was about playing the sport like they wanted to, or they just wanted to just be out there and playing around. Right. So because in high school you couldn't have 1 foot in and have 1 foot out. Either you was with it or you wasn't. Right. So it taught you how to be more or less I guess responsible, something like that. So I was excited for high school. I really was.
Okay. So a lot of people, know you for football or whatever.
Right.
Many don't know he's also a basketball player, fellow point guard, right? Or
guard. Yeah. I was a defensive specialist in high school. I didn't shoot the ball.
Right.
But you let me guard your best person on your team. That's what I wanted to do in high school.
That's going to be my next question. Like, what did you like about basketball?
See, at the time in high school, I still had that football mentality. So me playing basketball was just more of a kind of. I looked at it like I'm working on my skills of playing defensive back. I knew I wasn't going to college to play basketball. I mean, I knew I wasn't going to college to play basketball. I knew I was going to college to play football, but I still wanted to participate in the sport. I mean, I hadn't played it, and I also had that mother. She wasn't about to let me quit my senior year.
Right.
So I stuck it out, and at the time, Coach Allen, gave me an opportunity, and I just wanted to I would shoot here and there, but my main key component in basketball at the time, my senior year, was play defense, and that's what I did.
And that was Coach Allen's first team?
That was his first team.
Yeah.
Yep.
What I thought.
That was his first team.
Okay. Okay, so football, your primary sport, and you was a defensive back, you said,
defensive
primarily?
Back. Yep.
Okay. And how many years did you play on the varsity?
I got a letter for 3 years. Okay. I was able to play a little varsity. Actually, I started a few games my sophomore year. So I was able to get on the field for a little bit as a sophomore, and then my junior and senior year, I was a starter. So,
okay. And what was your game like, or maybe compared to in this day?
In this day and age, let me see. Because I say that because now in this day and age, it's a little bit different.
Well, in any age, then.
At the time when I was playing back then, the best corner I used to look at was Deion Sanders. If it wasn't Deion, then I ain't gonna say I was fast like Deion, but I just wanted to break on the ball and things like that. But I used to always want to hit people like Ronnie Lott. Like a lot of people don't realize that Ronnie Lott was my guy. But also although he played safety, I just want to hit people like that, which I did kind of transfer my position from high school to college. So when I went to college, I did play safety a little bit. So a lot of old school players. Some people might know.
Yeah.
I mean, you should.
Yeah,
Some people
should.
might not.
And so your last year, you was on a 10-0 team,
Yeah.
GMC champion.
97. 97. 20. It's been, well, we just had our thing this past week.
Oh yeah.
So it was 25. We just had our thing this past Friday. So it was 25 years.
Okay.
It's been 25 years. And
Wow.
it was cool to go there this past week and see some of the old guys. Like some of us look like we still can play, and some of us look like we look like
25 years.
we look like 25 years. You know.
Okay. Yeah, 10-0.
Yep.
Was that how long? How many? Was that maybe the first 10-0 season, or
Yeah, that was the first.
First one.
That was the first one. We went 10-0 and ended up losing in the playoffs to Saint X. That was so long ago, man. It was out at Kings Mill. They don't even got that field out there anymore. So
Right.
that just.
I think I was at that game.
Yep. That was, the whole community was for us back then. I mean, that's when Hamilton really started. Oh, we going to the football game. That was like one of the best times. I ain't gonna say I think. I know that was like one of the best times in my lives of being raised in Hamilton and being from Hamilton, because everywhere you went and everything you did with that particular team, we was 10-0, we was winning. I mean, the whole city was just with you. It didn't matter where you went. I could have went to McDonald's and they knew you played football. It was like, oh, we'll take care of you. And it was just, it was a good time back then. 97? 97.
Wow.
Forever.
So, where'd you end up going to college at?
I went to Wilmington College. At the time, like, situation with my grades, things like that. I was trying to play catch up.
Yeah.
Couple schools, I could have went Division I. Couple schools was like, hey, you can come on and walk on, but I didn't want to do that. I wanted to play football and I wanted to get it over with. So I had a guy who was recruiting me crazy from Wilmington College, and I was kind of skeptical about it, but I think that was probably one of the best decisions that I made. It wasn't a big school. It was out in the middle of nowhere. Once again, you had to adapt to some adversity, and that was like one of the biggest things that, like, I really liked about Wilmington. Like, it was different, totally different. And then I was able to meet a lot of different people that was kind of in the same position that I was from different cities. So that kind of just bound a brotherhood for us to this day. Like, I'm still cool with a lot of my boys from Wilmington right now to this day. I mean, hell, some of them closer to some of them than I am around here.
Yeah. Okay. You said you switched to safety.
Yeah.
And was there a adjustment or anything in college?
Well, my freshman year I went in, I was a corner. I felt like anybody should. Like, I'm better than that person. I'm better than this person. But I had to understand my dues as well. There were some guys that were seniors ahead of me, but I still felt like, and that's what you're supposed to have, is confidence. Like, I don't care what he is, I'm better. So I played a little bit my freshman year. I did play in college, not more than I wanted to. So the second year, which my sophomore year, we went into the spring practice, and we had a few people that had graduated from safety. There was another guy that came in with my class. He was a free safety at the time. He was like what we call a freak of nature. He was 6'2", 215 pounds, and he played free safety. So I came in and I was playing corner, and I was like, I could play strong safety. And the coach was like, "Are you serious? You think?" I said, "I know I could play strong safety." So the next thing you know, I'm playing strong safety my sophomore year, and was honorable mention D3 All-American.
Okay.
So it was an easy adjustment. It just took of course practice. But once I was able to get it, I loved it. It was a different adjustment for me, because I just went from playing corner to just playing my position to playing safety, to where I have to make calls for the defense and make sure people in the right spot. So it was like almost I was a coach on the field. I think my coaching mindset probably started, I think, when I moved to the strong safety position, because I had to know where everybody's supposed to be. So
okay. So
it wasn't that big of adjustment. It was just about, just doing extra stuff that you usually don't have to do. That was the only adjustment I think I had to worry about.
Right. Okay. Wilmington College. Gotcha.
The Quakers.
So you mentioned growing up with your brother,
Right.
and he would eventually, become a high major college football player.
Right.
What role you think you played in him getting there?
Make sure he had them grades. I mean, my brother seen letters, when I was coming through school, I had shoeboxes and shoeboxes of letters, and I used to always tell him, like, these don't mean nothing. Everybody can send you a letter, but you don't got those grades, and I think he watched me from when I was coming up through high school, and then when he came up through high school, a lot of people at Hamilton High at the time, they trying to compare him to me. Even his sophomore year, he came in and they put him at the position that I had just graduated from, and it was like, I had to tell him, like, hey, you need to tell them you your own person. You ain't my little brother. You your own person. So with him, it was more or less just staying focused and doing the right stuff, getting the grades so you can get that Division I scholarship to where our mom don't got to pay for nothing. And so that was actually, I think, one time in his life he actually paid attention. So, he did what he's supposed to do, and he was fortunate enough. He got a Division I scholarship to the University of Pitt.
Right.
And that was exactly the point, and he played for Pitt, and he played with a lot of good football players, and it was exciting just to even go up there and see him play in a big old, at the time, Heinz Field, and being on that type of facilities, and they practice at the same place the Pittsburgh Steelers practice at, to hear the stories he used to tell me, like, so he definitely had a big experience of different things, but I also use his experience to kind of see some things as well, like, go to some of his games where they played at Notre Dame, and they played out in Arizona. So it was, he definitely paid attention to that. So that was good.
Yeah.